In this video, you're going to learn how to handle common female problems. Welcome to Issac Wilson's channel, The Evolution of Dating. In a moment, I'm going to show you how to handle common female problems. And if you stay with me all the way, I'm going to also reveal what you should do when you can't understand what she wants and when you don't agree with her. How can you handle common problems associated with women? Being a master seducer doesn't mean that you should have a narrow field of study. A true master of the craft should be knowledgeable not only about seduction, sex, and romance, but also what could potentially take place after, like a serious relationship. Let's tackle a very important topic that I'm sure many of you would be glad to read about: women's issues. What are the most common problems encountered by men when dealing with their partners, spouses, or lovers? Problem: she constantly complains and cries about a lot of things. There are some women who feel the need to vent emotionally to the men in their lives. This is understandable behavior since women are more dependent on emotions when it comes to encoding memories and making decisions. However, if it happens too frequently, a man can feel drained and confused. You have to deal with all of these excess emotions. Most of the time, men feel helpless. Many problems brought to men by women can't be solved directly, like a stupid boss, a bully colleague, she's getting fat, etc. Some women cry because they know that men can't stand it. Men cave in when they see the tears. It's hard to see a woman cry. The first thing that men feel when they see a woman cry is to do something to make it stop. But then again, if it happens too frequently and patterns of manipulation occurs, then it's not acceptable in any relationship at all. Solution: first of all, it's possible that your girl just wants you to bear witness to what she's feeling or experiencing at the moment. So be the witness. Don't let the tears break you up inside. If your lady is not crying from a bullet wound to the chest, she won't die from a good cry. When the crying is over, ascertain if there's something you can contribute to solve the problem directly. If not, gently explain to her what your position is on the subject and move on quickly from it. If the pattern repeats itself and the same issue is brought up, simply rinse and repeat. It's not wise to make empty promises just to make the complaining and crying stop. Problem: she becomes extremely aggravated and constantly engages in fights with you. Both men and women are guilty for this type of behavior. Some women, especially those who have had a bad past relationships, may feel that the only way that they can have stability in a relationship is if they completely dominate their partners. Women often dominate through their verbal and vocal prowls. Some even go as far as using physical violence. Call the police if this happens. A man who is constantly bombarded by a raging female can become frightened of the relationship itself. If there was love in the relationship before, the fights and endless rage can quickly drain the relationship of anything desirable. Solution: don't allow your partner, girlfriend, or spouse to dominate you through fighting. If she wants you to shout back at her, don't do it. You will only make things worse by feeding the fire. Let her shout all she wants, and when she's worn herself out from all the excess activity, calmly talk to her and analyze what the actual problem is. If your woman begins shouting again, stop and let her quiet down before you respond. Never attempt to fight fire with fire. Shouting will only prolong the fight, and I'm sure you're not in the mood for another one. When your lady reverts to a more reasonable mood, start making changes and promises that you will be able to act upon. If there are irrational demands, offer alternatives and compromise with her. Problem: you can't understand what she wants, and when you don't agree with her, she says you're just irrational. This is one of the oldest complaints against women: irrational behavior. To be fair to women, men don't have to deal with the pressures of society that are particular to women, and yes, we don't have the monthly periods. If you think your lady is riding the wave leading to her period, let her be. Hormones will be hormones, and that's not your girl talking. That's her hormones causing issues inside her body. Solution: in the majority of situations, females act or think illogically simply because they don't want to be wrong. Again, this is common in both males and females. The only ideal solution to this problem is to stand your ground and to try to compromise with your partner. Don't fight with her for the sake of proving her wrong. If there's a genuine problem to be solved, shift your mindset to solution mode so you can end the fight on reasonable grounds. Don't become irrational yourself.